Viewers, the Valmiki Fund scam allegations have once again resurfaced in the state of Karnataka. The BJP today marched towards the Karnataka Assembly protesting against B. Nagendra, a minister in the Congress government in the state. Nagendra was at the center of the alleged scam in 2024 when he was serving as Karnataka's tribal welfare minister. The BJP is now demanding his removal from the Karnataka cabinet. And dramatic visuals have emerged from the state, showing BJP workers and police clashing at the barricades outside Vidhan Sauda. Senior BJP leaders, including R. Ashoka and B.Y. Vijayendra, were also detained during the protest. It comes after the Central Bureau of Investigation sought the nod of the Karnataka government to prosecute Nagendra. So what exactly is the Valmiki Fund scam? And why has the political storm erupted once again? We'll decode that in the briefing room, but let's first tell you what BJP's allegations are and what Congress's counter is. While BJP demands that Nagendra's prosecution by the CBI and his removal from the cabinet should take place, Congress argues that he hasn't yet been convicted and that they are ready for a debate in the assembly. Listen in.
Welcome move which CBI has done. He should be prosecuted. Otherwise, he will not resign because these 187 crore rupees not only Nagendra has eaten up, say whole Congress under the leadership has taken that amount so that immediately he may tell the Congress leaders' names.
Convict ಆಗಿದಾರಾ CID ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ SIT ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಹೆಸರು ಇದೆಯಾ CBI ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಶೀಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಸದನದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರಪ್ಪ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ 5 ದಿನದಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜ್ವಲಂತ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ವಿ. ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು.
Now let's tell you a little more about the alleged Valmiki Fund scam. Let's take a look at what really has happened. It's from February 2024 onwards that the scam allegedly took place. Let's quickly bring up the next set of details. The target was the Karnataka Maharishi Valmiki State Development Corporation. The total amount of pooled money is allegedly 187 crore rupees. The amount that was allegedly siphoned out is believed to be 89.62 crore rupees. Now, what exactly was Nagendra accused of in the backdrop of the alleged scam? Let's tell you all those details. One, he at that time was the minister. He was, in fact, the minister in charge of the Scheduled Tribes Welfare Department. The ED's finding named him the mastermind of the operation, quote unquote. The CBI's finding is that he was the prime accused in all the 3 charge sheets. The alleged use of funds, 20.19 crore for the 2024 Lok Sabha campaign is what is being alleged. Let's now take you through a timeline of what really has happened in this alleged fund scam case. In May 2026 of the year 2024, the account officer dies by suicide and he left a note. In May 28 of 2024, an FIR was registered in the case. On June 6th, Nagendra then resigns as the minister in charge. On July 12th, ED arrests Nagendra. In September 2024, the ED files a 127-page charge sheet in this entire scam. In June 2026, CBI files 3 separate charge sheets. In August of 2026, Nagendra is then re-inducted in the Karnataka cabinet. For more on this, let's go right across to our guest. Joining us is Surabhi Hodigere, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. R.K. Upadhyay, senior journalist, is with us. With us is Nikhil Jain, a political analyst, as well as Syed Asad Abbas, who's also a political analyst. Let me start with you first. Syed Asad Abbas, Mr. Nagendra has not been convicted. And it is, of course, the argument of the Congress that a person who has not been convicted, why should there be action taken? But might I remind you that the same Mr. Nagendra was earlier sacked on the same grounds. So why, since that taint has not been cleared of the individual, why should he have been brought into the cabinet in the first place is the question that BJP is asking.
On the similar lines, Madhav Saab, Priyank Kharge was also, when he was addressing the media, he did mention that he's not been convicted by any courts of law. Also, as a matter of fact, Mr. B. Nagendra, in his defense, has come and addressed the media as well, where he's claimed to be innocent. And those who are found to be guilty of the same scam must go through the due process of law and order. Also, the Deputy Chief Minister, Shri Parmeshwar Ji, has released a statement on the same front on behalf of the Karnataka Congress government. The fact of the matter, Priyank Kharge ji also told the leaders of the BJP, including the leader of opposition in the assembly, Mr. R. Ashok, to kindly submit the matter, bring into the notice and debate the same in the floor of the assembly. But why isn't the BJP doing the same thing? They can definitely argue and hold Congress to the ground, but they are not able to do it. All they are able to do is disrupt and cause chaos in the Vidhan Sabha, which is absolutely unfortunate. We in Karnataka have so many important issues to discuss.
You know, Mr. Abbas, it's very interesting that you're mentioning disruption, because here in Parliament is exactly the other way around. Here the Congress is not willing to discuss the resignation. And by the way, was Dharmendra Pradhan convicted of something when you demanded his resignation? He was not convicted. And also, did you allow the Parliament to function? The same, if you are applying the yardstick of disruption of the House, the same yardstick must apply to Congress at the central level as well.
It's very interesting, Madhav Sahab, how you indulge in what about you?
I am not indulging in water. I am just asking you not to be hypocritical and maintain the same standard. Same yardstick must be applied everywhere. That's all I'm saying.
I will answer. With respect to Dharmendra Pradhan, it was the need of the hour because the youth of this country wanted it. 65% of the voters who are next voters for a BJP or a Congress wanted it. Not just the Congress party or the Aam Aadmi party. This was a demand of the youth where the Bharatiya Janata Party had to go into. Also, as a matter of fact, these are chalk and cheese. These are two different matters. Also, as a matter of fact,
so corruption is okay.
You've been in Karnataka.
Issues related to youth are more important than issues of corruption, according to you.
10 seconds, Madhav. No, I will answer that. Madhav Saab, you've been in Karnataka. You know about the state. You've been here. You're a man in a maga. And let me tell you, sir, there are so many important issues to discuss from here. I'd like to...
Corruption is not an important issue. Valmiki scam is not an important issue.
There are more important issues like drought.
More important
issues.
What is happening
to the farmers?
Okay.
What is happening to the
farmers? There are more important issues. Drought, farmers' issues are far more important. Why are you latching on to this one issue? Ask Syed Abbas. Please respond.
Without conviction order of the...
1 second. You asked your question. Now let her respond.
The person doing whataboutery are the people who are, proxy representatives of the Congress party here. The Congress party does not have the face to come and, do a debate on this topic because they have nothing to hide behind. It was their chief minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, who said that a scam has happened. Money has been laundered. Money has gone to Telangana to fund elections. Lamborghinis have been bought. And let me remind you, you're talking about youth protest. What was this money in the Valmiki scam? Who was it meant to serve? It was meant to serve our Dalit community. It was meant to serve the marginalized people in Karnataka. Was that not important enough for you? You say 65% of youth supported Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation. Did you do a survey? On the other hand, there is clear culpability when somebody resigns. Why did Mr. Nagendra resign from his position? If he was so clear that he was innocent, if his party was so sure that he had nothing to do with it, if the party was so sure, if the government was so sure, why did he resign first? You resign and then you throw muck on the face of the people of Karnataka saying, you know what, I can do anything and get away with it. I will bring him back to into the cabinet. Wait, you resigned because you had some moral responsibility, right? What happened to that moral responsibility in a matter of 2 years, less than 2 years? What happened? When Mr. Nagendra resigned, it was very clear that he had something to do very directly with the scam, which is why he is an accused, which is why he is named in the charge sheet, which is why there are multiple investigations happening against him. You could not withhold from putting him back into the cabinet. For what reason? Was there no other capable person from that region, from that community who could represent you, your government? No, you had to bring the same person back into power. And what about is that there is nothing to hide behind, Madhav. The Congress has nothing to hide behind. They are now saying that you can do whatever you want. This is how we will run the government.
Respond. It is brazenness. You are bringing back a person who you sacked earlier on grounds of taint. Has the taint disappeared?
Firstly, Madhav Saab, B. Nagendra, on moral grounds, he made a statement as well on the same front that he had to resign. And of course, he is a leader of the Dalit community. He represents them and he fights for his rights. If there is a scam taking place, those who are found to be guilty must and should be punished. And let us understand, Mr. B. Nagendra is not convicted here. He is only accused. Also,
so even the allegation of looting the poorest of the poor, the most marginalized sections of society, including the Dalits, the Valmikis, that's okay according to you?
No, it's not okay. It's not okay, Madhav.
So that's the stand that government is taking.
I will answer. The larger point here, Madhav, is the BJP spokesperson mentioned that he was guilty and he resigned. So was Dharmendra Pradhan guilty of paper leak, Ms. Surabhi Odigere, that he resigned? So he's accepting his guilt there. So if that
Of course, what is
conclusion
the
of the
principle
same
of resigning then? Why is the minister resigning if he's not accepting moral responsibility?
But Dharmendra Pradhan wrote something else in the resignation.
It is about
letter.
accountability. It is not about guilt.
No,
There
no,
is a
no,
principle
no,
of
no, no.
accountability. Are you aware of the principle of collective accountability of the cabinet of any government in India?
Madhav sir,
That is what
I
is
will
called
answer.
constitutional morality, and that is why people demand resignations of ministers. Mr.
Madhav sir.
Nagendra is neither the first nor the last minister who will resign. And if the government chooses to brazen it out, they can do so. But certainly you will have your
Dharmendra
opponents who
Pradhan-
will gun for you,
Dharmendra
saying that what
Pradhan
happened to your past promise and your past position, because you're doing a 180-degree turn on that.
Dharmendra Pradhan had something absolutely different written in his resignation letter,
May I
that
please come in, Madhav?
he's resigning for the larger good of the
We are
people.
not discussing
And there
Dharmendra
are- there
Pradhan.
are-
Simple
you
question is, if that
started-
principle of accountability was,
started-
followed by the Congress party and Mr. Narendra 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, as Surbhi Hodgere just told us, why has that yardstick now shifted? But I must ask a simple question over here. And let me ask you, Surbhi Hodgere, the problem over here is this. The problem is every time that there is a corruption charge against a minister of the opposition parties, they have repeatedly raised the question or the specter of misuse of central agencies by the BJP, whether it's ED, whether it's CBI. How do we know that is not happening in this case? That's an argument I thought Mr. Abbas would bring up, but obviously he's not read up enough on this case. Answer that question, Surbhi Hodgere.
When the then chief minister himself comes out and says, no, you know what, it's not 187 crores, it's just 89 crores of money that has gone, has been misappropriated. What is the ED or anybody who's investigating? Are they on flimsy ground? Absolutely not. Your chief minister, Siddaramaiah, has accepted on the floor of the house that money has been misappropriated, routed towards election campaigns. And a Congress spokesperson, an official one, had the audacity to say, yeah, so what? The money got misappropriated, but it came back. All the money was recovered. Does that mean the crime has not happened? And this attempt to, compare a resignation of somebody who actually took moral responsibility versus somebody who is an accused, directly linked, and an election in his own district, being accused of running something like that. Very different comparison. Please, you can come up with all sorts of arguments. Why did he resign? The resignation was not because something went wrong in the system. The resignation was because of personal culpability in a matter of corruption. These are very, very... Why did you resign? And what was can I ask a very straightforward question?
Yeah.
What
Let me
was
bring
the
in...
necessity to bring back Mr. Nagendra?
Okay.
Give me the political reason.
Let me...
What was the reason to bring him back in this term?
Let me bring in other panelists as well. Mr. Upadhyay is with us. Nikhil Jain also with us. Nikhil Jain, what was the necessity to bring back Mr. Nagendra? There were other suitable candidates. There was a whole fight going on for the cabinet berths. What is the urgency, the necessity, the speeding hurry with which Mr. Nagendra was brought in before his name is cleared? Nikhil Jain.
Madhav, which politician, which MLA gets to be the minister is completely the prerogative of the ruling party, whichever party it is, whether the BJP or the Congress, until and unless we're talking about somebody who's been convicted or who's been proven, some guilt has been proven in their regard. And honestly, Madhav, I love the kind of discussions that we have when it comes to Karnataka, where we hold the government to account, where we talk about great principles like constitutional morality, moral responsibility, accountability.
So you didn't come for any of my Dharmendra Pradhan debates quite clearly because, I think there were other members of the Congress spokespersons who actually official spokespersons were there. But nevertheless, carry on.
No, Madhav, this is not a charge on you. I am talking in general that whenever we come about the state of Karnataka, not your show, not your channel, in general in public discourse, everybody talks about these great principles, but somehow very conveniently, my friends from the BJP, forget the
We'll call you for our debates on Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, Andhra, Punjab, UP, Gujarat. We'll call you for all those debates also. Now, please answer the question.
Thank you, sir. So see, the point remains simple. Resigning because of taking moral responsibility when you've been named in a scam, vis-a-vis guilt being proven, are two very different things. It's been 2 years since these allegations have surfaced. The guilt has not been proven. You cannot put a person's entire political career to the dock just because they were named by an opposition political party. They are being named by an agency which are being used as, cage parrots by the BJP. We all know what the CBI and the ED have been doing to opposition leaders. Just because of that, you can't ransack the career of a politician, right?
Okay.
Let the guilt be proven, and then you can have all these arguments that no, he should
wonderful
not be
argument. Nikhil Jain, wonderful argument. Can you just explain to me then why did Mr. Nagendra resign last time?
Because when your name surfaces in a corruption allegation, moral responsibility, constitutional morality, as you
When
pointed
it
out,
surfaces.
dictates.
And has his name been cleared yet?
No, but what do you expect? That the
What has
investigation is
changed?
going to
That's
go on
exactly
for
the
20
point.
years.
We expect that the
No,
same
if
yardstick will be maintained
No, but
since
if
the time he
investigation
resigned.
goes on, Madhav, if the investigation goes on for 20 years, are you saying that this man can never be a minister or
Well, there are certain principles of accountability, and let me bring in Mr. Upadhyay on this. Mr. Upadhyay, is this argument sustainable? That just because the investigation has not been completed, do you expect that his career, will be in the deep freeze for the next 20 years? That is the argument coming in from Nikhil Jain. How do you look at that argument, Mr. Upadhyay?
Madhav, the facts of the matter are, 187 crores scam. This has been accepted. And Mr. Siddaramaiah himself on the floor of the assembly said 89.63 crores has been embezzled, sent to various bogus accounts. He also accepted that. This being the case, this is it. And then Nagendra was heading that institution, Marshi, ST Corporation. So he had to pay a price. Now, after that, what has changed for him to come back now? If he had gone on moral responsibility, that should still remain, no? Has that moral responsibility has gone out of the window? Just because there is a change of government? Now that there is Shivakumar and not Siddaramaiah? I think the Congress has blundered by taking the stand and brazenly bringing him back to the cabinet, and they have to pay a price. Now they were making a big issue about, Dharmendra Pradhan and, stopping the functioning of the parliament. Now they're facing the consequence here. Now they see, what can happen if you kind of chaos. I mean, as a Congress spokesman was saying, this is a chaos that's been created. So what did you people do in parliament? And for what, Dharmendra Pradhan was not involved in any scam. So that being the case, here is a man who was involved in a scam, and you bring him back, and it's high time that he's removed. I think the Congress High Command should take a stand, and then, anyway, in any case, now they have to bring in 2 or 3 people, which Siddaramaiah has been insisting on. So you have to have another change of, changes in the cabinet. So they might as well drop him. Otherwise, I think this will continue.
Yes, and in fact, adding to what is being stated, and you must respond to him, Nikhil Jain, what Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay, who's a very senior journalist in Bengaluru, is telling us. I'm just reading out what the CBI stated in terms of the charges that Mr. Nagendra is facing. The investigation revealed a highly orchestrated criminal conspiracy involving the then Minister for Scheduled Tribes Welfare, Mr. B. Nagendra, his close associate, Mr. Nekkanti Nagaraj, and Mr. Padmanabha JG, Managing Director of the KMVSTDCL. They've also said that Mr. B. Nagendra, then Minister, is named as an accused in all the 3 charge sheets, highlighting his central and extensive role in every aspect of this vast criminal conspiracy. Very, very grave charges that he has not been cleared of, incidentally. Nikhil Jain.
Madhav, the point remains the same, that we've all seen the kind of political use of the CBI and the ED against opposition leaders. How am I to trust a single word of the CBI? Let's not forget, a couple of months ago, Arvind Kejriwal was discharged, not even acquitted. Discharged because the court did not think that the case even merited a trial. That's the kind of investigation central agencies are doing when it comes to opposition leaders. So how do I really trust the word of the CBI when they say that this person is accused in 3 different scams or 5 different scams or 1 different scam? I don't really care about that. So far.
Okay, how can we trust the agencies? Mr. Upadhyay, how can we trust the agencies?
No, it has been discharged. I mean, the discharge has been stayed. I'm sure you are aware of that. So he's not found to be not guilty. So the case is still on.
Yeah.
So,
and the simple question is this, Nikhil Jain, 2 years ago you felt that the agency's charges were viable and that they were tenable and that we have to resign. Now suddenly 2 years later you can't say, oh, I don't believe this agency. I resigned 2 years ago, but now I don't believe this agency. What kind of argument is this?
Madhav, then what do you expect? That every time there is a charge against a politician, his entire career should be ransacked till the time he's cleared by the top Supreme
My dear
Court?
friend, I am nobody to judge that. The point is, since you have yourself acknowledged it, by resigning in the first place, why brazen it out and come into the cabinet again? That is a simple question that is being asked.
The man did have a cooling off period.
It's a cooling off period. Wow.
CBI had all the...
This is a completely new definition of constitutional morality, that you have a cooling off period until your scam taint comes, then you have a cooling off period and then you're brought in.
then you come back.
Wonderful.
To be practical here.
Mr. Upadhyay, have you ever heard of a cooling off period for a scam tainted politician? Coming to you, Surbi and Abbas, coming to you. I'm sorry, I'm sure everybody is eager to respond to this cooling off period, but Mr. Upadhyay, in your long and hallowed experience as a journalist, have you ever heard of a cooling off period for a corrupt politician? I've never heard of it.
I think he's bringing in new ideas to all these politicians. And, Nagendra himself, on the floor of the assembly said, you are tainting the name of Valmiki by saying it's a Valmiki scam, as if he did it. He's trying to say that it is Valmiki himself did it. That's the public perception that's giving. So Nagendra wants to, brush it off and say, oh, you're bringing in Valmiki into this. So, this is the kind of person who is involved in the scam, and he should be ashamed to be back without getting a clean sheet. I mean, let the courts clear his name. Let the courts clear his name, and then he can come back always. But not now and trying to defend like this. And even the Congress party, I mean, how can they defend him?
Yeah.
So
and Nikhil Jain, I must ask Nikhil one question though. Nikhil Jain, let's take your argument at face value. I mean, cooling off period, etc. I can bring in special comments. Saida Sabas is eager to comment on that. Surbhi is also eager. But can you tell me one thing? If CBI, ED are also scam tainted, why is the Telangana government asking for CBI to inquire in the Kaleshwaram project, the tainted agency, the politically charged agency? Why are you asking them to investigate Kaleshwaram? The same Congress government there in Telangana?
Yeah, they would become a doomed if you do, doomed if you don't. If they don't ask for the CBI investigation, you say, why are they? No, but what? I really don't have an answer to this.
You don't have an answer because your argument is untenable, sir. I'm very serious. I'm sorry. I should not be laughing on a serious issue such as corruption, but your argument is not tenable at all. Anyway, this is hardly an argument, but quick responses. Surbi, and then Saida Sabas. Quick 30-second responses.
There is a reason why I have not laughed, I have not smiled at this absurd argument, a mockery of justice, of people that's happening on your show today. And I'll tell you why. It's because the scam that we're talking about, and I want uninterrupted time, the scam that we're talking about came to light because the corporation superintendent in his suicide letter wrote about it. It took a man to kill himself for somebody like Mr. Nagendra's scam to come into question. And later on, let me remind you, this money was supposed to go, I'll tell you again why it is a mockery of our system if we laugh about things and say it's a cooling off period for corruption, because the money that we're talking about was supposed to fund the education scholarship of young women and girls from the ST community. We are not talking about some, random money that the government lost.
Right.
This is money that was going to go to deserving people. I'm really ashamed that I could even be part of a discussion where we're talking about things like cooling off period. We're talking about money as if it is, something that grows on trees. We're talking about absurd arguments when somebody's life has been lost.
No, absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I think it's a very, very somber note and a very important note. Corruption, the way particularly this case has unraveled, it's a very, very tragic sort of situation that has unfolded on ground. A very, very serious issue indeed. And certainly an issue that sparks a lot of food for thought. Accountability, certainly very important principle in Karnataka. What will happen in the next few days is something that we need to watch out for closely. Surabhi Hodigere, R.K. Upadhyay, Nikhil Jain, Saida Sabas, thank you so much for joining us this evening.